Today we're going to show you how to replace a J1772 nozzle with our replacement nozzle that you can buy at fastandquiet.com. This nozzle comes in two different variations, one in the 32 amp and one in the 50 amp. The only difference between the two is the pins on the back end, which the 50 amp would accept a larger wire size and the 32 amp would be a slightly smaller. Let's get started. So we're going to take the old one apart so we can see where the break is on this one, and this will need to be removed anyway to be able to put the new one on. Now on the plug charging nozzle itself, there should be a number on it representing what amperage this is rated for. This one right here says 30A, so we're going to replace it with a 32 amp one. All the J1772s are going to be connected the same way, but it's good to have a first-hand guide right here in front of you instead of just relying only on this video itself. So let's take this thing apart and see what's going on. The way I'm taking this apart is just with a simple little screwdriver set. A link will be in the description where an example of one, not maybe this particular one, but something that looks very similar. I like these type of things just because there's so many different bits inside and it's all in one location. I can take something small like this apart. Let's take this thing apart and see what's going on. Also, you're going to want some type of container to stick your screws in. I'd recommend that so they just don't get lost. All right, that should be all. You can see it's coming apart. So let's see what it looks like inside. So inside these type of things, it's going to be the same on this one. There's one in the center, but I'll show you on the other one we sell. So looking at this more carefully, it looks like the pins are fine. Let's see. Yeah, they're all connected, but it seems like right here, there's a switch right here that's for some reason just not coming back up. Let me take that switch off. So this switch is supposed to come back up. As you can see, doesn't want to stay up. So looking at this, you can definitely tell how this is put together, which wires go where. So you want to be able to copy this over to this one over here. Put this one to the side just for right now. Keep all these pieces together so you don't mix them with the old one. So that goes over there. And I'm going to grab another container. And this will be for all the new stuff when I take this apart. So they're off. So now this should slide out like this. All right, be careful on this spring right here, and the same for this one too. This could pop out. It might be hard to get back in. If it does come out, it's not the end of the world. It can go in. But you can see on here, right here, you can see the switch inside, and you see it's popped up like that. Compared to this one, it's not popped up at all. Take this off. So on our design, we have this here, which is going to be a smaller bit. So to get to the pins are already inside. So the plugs come with the pins itself. On here on the back, let's see if it's on this one too. It's not, but this one we kind of mark in where each pin goes. And then we have this rubber piece, which can reduce the likelihood of water getting inside and keeps the pins nice snug in there. There's this screw inside right here that holds those pins in place. That screw comes out, this comes out, and you can see the pins are in there. So, and they're going to be a little stuck in there. It won't be hard to pull out, but the reason why they're not just coming out like this, because there's this piece of rubber here that prevents water coming the other way to keep it sealed inside there, causing them to do that. So you can just pull them out like this. These two lead pins are exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which way you put it. Just when you connect the wire, just make sure you put whichever wire you put in the right spot. There it goes. That's that one. They're harder to get out because they have less grip. Okay, there's the other one, and there's that ground. This ground, you can tell is different just because it has that different notch on the back compared to these two. which are going to be your 2 lead pins. And we do sell replacement pins, so if you mess up, you can buy just the pins instead of buying the entire nozzle again. And then these 2 right here are going to be your 2 signal pins, which are exactly the same as well. So it might be a good idea to take out your cell phone itself, kind of have it face you or irritation, so you can see all those colors that are coming out, and take a picture. So we're going to pull each one of these out just a little bit like this. And you want to grab some type of wire cutters in general and just snip off. I would recommend, you know, you could keep a little bit the colorization. So that's the pins cut off. You pull it off. The switch comes off also with it. All right, so now that you cut it, you want to make sure this copper is in good condition. Sometimes these things can get corroded on there, causing the pin just to break and the wire just to break off. So you want to make sure that, so you want to keep moving back until you find good copper. I had to cut a little bit off because there was this piece of metal that was there holding, as you can see on the other one, holding this in place. So that was not really possible to get off without damaging the wires. So when editing the video, I noticed I cut the sheathing back a little too far. You actually want to cut it back around 5 inches so the main sheathing will clamp down on this part right here. And when you're cutting it, make sure you don't hit the wire itself. You just want to cut the insulation off because you don't want to damage this wire, causing there to be a weak point now at that section. So first, you're going to need to take off this piece that's back here. This is rubber grommet. Make sure you put that on first because you're not going to be able to get it on after you've crimped all this stuff. All right, so that's on. This may need to come back further depending on thing, but that's on now. So next you want to slide these pieces on one by one. In some of them, this blue wire might not be used, so that's a good way. Also, when you take it apart, you want to see which one is being used. So that proximity might just be controlled at the switch for some of them, but some of them have a signal going back over here, which is being crimped on. But let's take this. Should point this in the right direction, the way you took it off on the one we have. So once all these on, I would definitely take your photo that you took earlier, take a look at it, and compare the two. And it looks like they're both in the exact same position as it was when I took it off. So the next one you would take this orange thing and slide it on as well. Next, you're gonna have to take this piece that slides in here, and there was a screw that was holding this down in the center like that. There's a screw basically inside there. Hold those pins in place like you saw. So make sure that's on there also before you put the crimp pins on, because you're not gonna be able to get them in afterwards. This piece, after you get the pins on, this piece will go forward so you have space to be able to put that screw back in. Next step would be to actually strip. You want to put this up next to it to see how much you want to take off. So I'd put it up next to it and then cut. You always can cut more, but you always can't put more back on. All right, so once you can see here, you can see they're all stripped now to the length that I want them. So when you put these pins on, you want to make sure they go all the way down on the thing. And you know, having a little bit extra at the end is fine, but you don't want like a lot. You don't want something to touch, you know, accidentally rub against something. What I'm gonna use is these crimpers here. I'll put a link in the description for these. These are probably the best I've used so far for this application. I wouldn't recommend soldering because you have this ring here that's gonna it could melt, cause damage to it. And also for this type of gauge wire, for this larger gauge, soldering is probably not, I wouldn't recommend. I'm more of a, on the crimping side when you start getting into larger gauge wire. The two we want to hold off on for right now, we can crimp the other ones, but we want to hold off on this proximity and ground because you have to tie these two other wires in here, which would be that switch wire like on the other one. Now this wire I just know from this thing is going to be 10 gauge, so you want to match it up there. Now these things are pretty thick. It may take some force to get that down. Just like that. So that is not going anywhere. You can see that it is pushed down in that groove. Continue repeating that process through all these here. Now you're not going to be able to really do this with like wire strippers like that for crimping part. It just takes so much force. So that's done. So then pilot. So put this aside for right now. Because you're going to need this wire, I would just pull this off. That just slides off like this. Being careful of this spring not to pop out. This black wire, you can see there's a white and a black one. This black one's going to go to that ground. So I'm going to slide it down here. And this white one's going to go to that proximity pin. This wire right here is in there, which would be that proximity wire has to be tied into this switch, as well as this ground has to be tied in the switch. It's going to have to strip a little bit more to get this wire in there, because you're going to put that in there with the pin, which slides in with this inside. So let me strip away a little bit more from that. All right, so now you can see that it has been stripped away. So now all we gotta do is stick the ground pin in there. It's gonna be difficult because you're trying to get 2 wires in there now. And then you want to crimp it that 10 gauge for this 32 amp. And then we repeat the same process. Give it the pull test. Do it for each one of these. Make sure it is not gonna come off, which it doesn't feel like it's going to. So if you pull these all the way back like this, kind of lines up where they need to go. So now we want to grab that small pin that was in the center. Pull test again, just to make sure so none of these wires come undone while it's inside. But they shouldn't be moving because we're about to stick this rubber piece in. So now we take this piece and we wrap this around. So we put this back in. So you can hear it's clicking in there. I also want to take this bracket off here. It's going to actually hold the wire in place. You grab the rubber piece. If you don't want it, you can leave it off, but there's going to be a hole there if we don't. Stick it back into that location, like that. You can even do that to keep it in place more. Take your top piece now. Make sure this is kind of straight so it's easier to get on. And this should snap on like this. So that's it. After you put the screws on, you're ready to go. If you have any questions or if this video was helpful to you, feel free to leave a comment down below.